I was the little girl who never spoke her mind. I wouldn't rock the boat, I couldn't cross that line. But every step that I've taken, every pain, every tear, has led me to the woman who is standing right here. Oh, I got so tired of giving myself away, you know what I mean? Always looking for someone to tell me I was okay. But I got to the place where I could trust my heart. It was the perfect place for a brand new start. Oh, here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Yeah. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand. Here I stand. Sing along with us if you're feeling it. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand. Here I stand. Yeah, yeah. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand. Femininity and masculinity combined together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here I stand in my power. Not no shrinking violet, no. Here I stand in my power. Love and kindness lead the way. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand. And let's do it one time, kind of softly. The whole chorus, here we go. Here I stand in my power.
In your love, in your truth.
Here I stand in my power.
Faith, hope, and
Here I
glory.
stand in my power.
Joy,
Here I stand.
here I stand.
Here I stand. Here we stand, yeah. Welcome to Unity of Bon Air on a beautiful morning. We welcome everybody here in attendance today and also our friends out there online. God bless you. Happy Mother's Day. We're so glad you're here. And we're going to sing the song we sing when we start our services, declaring that we know God to be good and all is well. Stand if you want. What a wonderful morning, beyond compare. I feel God's loving presence everywhere. I am filled with joy profound. In a world where many miracles abound. In the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. In the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. Please be seated.
Thank you so much, Claudia, and welcome everyone. Welcome to Unity of Bon Air, where we live and express unconditional love and grow together in peace and prosperity. My name is Brennan Graham, and I am honored to be with you this morning, both in person and online. Whether this is your first time or your 100th time joining us, we are grateful for your presence and participation as we share this special time together. We come together as part of love's divine purpose that calls each of us forth to celebrate the connection we all share through the holy presence within and all around us that we call God. In the spirit of community, we enfold in light and love all spiritual and religious gatherings and all people everywhere. We begin our time together with a special message from our daily word. And the daily word for today is motherly love. God's love expressing through my mother gave me life. God's love, wisdom, and strength guided her and all of those who nurtured me as I grew. Her words of praise and gratitude let me show my mother how much I appreciate her. When I wish to demonstrate my appreciation for my mother's example, I share nurturing, motherly love of God in my words and my actions with all people. Remembering the times when my mother or another compassionate person listened patiently and shared encouraging words, I seek to be a caring and supportive presence. Recalling my mother's joy each time I learned something new, I share my skills and knowledge willingly when someone seeks my help. In gratitude, I share the gift of nurturing love. And our scripture for today, as a mother comforts her child, so I will comfort you. And I'm going to say our phrase, and then I'm going to ask you guys to repeat it 2 times with me. I give thanks for motherly love. Together. I give thanks for motherly love. Again. I give thanks for motherly love. And I am happy to introduce our speaker for the day. It's someone that many of us know and love. It's Reverend Valorie Kay. And yep. Reverend Valorie has been our Associate Minister of Education here at Unity of Bon Air since 2018. She currently serves on the board of the Unity Urban Ministerial School alumni, and she is also an online instructor for UUMS. Valorie has been a traveling guest speaker and musician for Unity for over 20 years. She has been sharing her gift of song since she was a young girl and has facilitated many transformational workshops and groups. And Valorie's #1 desire is to assist all people to awaken to their magnificence and connect with the sacred, to live a life of peace, fulfillment, and abundance. And I know she's supported me in that journey. So now I am going to invite you all to look around to the other people in this sanctuary, or just if you're at home, please look around, look on the screen, and look at your pets or your family that are with you, and recognize the truth of this beautiful song that the presence of love is in this place.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. And welcome to anyone who is new watching us online today or anyone who is new here with us in person. We love you and we bless you and we appreciate you and we behold the Christ you are. And we have a welcome packet here at the front desk. So should anyone be new and you would like a welcome packet and have some more information about our ministry, we will give you one today. Or if you're online, just give us a call. We'll make sure you get one. A couple of announcements I just wanted to make is that we have 3 more board candidates. And there's some technical difficulties in getting the videos, so we aren't able to show them today. So just to remind you to go to the e-news, to look at our board slate and watch the videos of all the candidates, or go to our website and watch the videos that are posted there. Because we have our annual meeting, business meeting next week, and our election, and that's May 16th. So you know the many ways you can vote by bringing your ballot by, to drop it in the ballot box, mail it in, or to email it to me, and that information came out in your letter. The board candidates' videos we have not heard from yet are Lisa Marks, Mike Regulinski, and Anita Ramsey. And our other candidates we heard from Janet Loving-Pitts last week and Myra Faderspiel. So let us come together now and pray as we start our service. We drop into our heart space and we relax and let the breath of life bring energy, vibrancy, vitality to all the cells of your body, muscles, organs, and tissues. We allow that vibrant light of God to come in through the top of your head and down through your spine and come into the heart. And we allow the Mother Earth energy to come up through our feet and meet in the heart. So right here and right now, we are centered in a spiritual beating heart together as we hold our world, our communities, our leaders, our loved ones in the heart of prayer. For the awakening of peace, for the awakening of love, spiritual understanding, and unity. We give thanks for all mothers. We give thanks for mothers and mothers, maybe not necessarily biological, but all of those in our lives who have mothered us, given us love, given us direction, taught us lessons to live by. We give thanks for this day to celebrate motherhood, to celebrate the sacred feminine. And in this heart of prayer now, we hold our beloved William Bryant Tyndall in our hearts and his family as he made his transition on Friday, close to midnight. He was surrounded by love. His message was love. We pray for others in our minds or in our hearts now. Anyone that you wish to call into this heart of prayer, you may say their names aloud or silently to yourself. And so we include all of those with whom and for whom we pray, and we dedicate this time together in love for all. And for this, we are grateful. Together we say, I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. And so it is. Amen.
I'd like to invite everybody to stand. It's time for a congregation sing-along. And this is one that we all know from our childhood. I find so much comfort in these words. Of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer. Let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Around the room and share your love with everybody. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let
Julie, Zita, Lucy, and Claudia. We are blessed. Please remain standing, and we will say our statement of truth, of oneness together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the omnipotent good.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
As we shuffle our pages and get them ready for the next song, I was going to say I am so very grateful that I live in a country that honors the importance of women and the beauty and the intelligence and the wisdom of women. And I know from the news that that's not the case around the world, that some people, some women, some girls struggle getting an education. So many of the songs we're going to share today are in dedication to those that are still not quite where they need to be. Those countries that are still struggling with this issue, that try to hold women back, because to tell you the truth, we need each other. We need all the gifts we can bring to the table to be balanced, whole, and beautiful.
These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. The gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive all of the gifts of the goddess? Love, joy, and peace. The gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive? Love, are you ready? I am ready. Joy, joy, I am ready. I am ready. Peace, peace, are you ready? I am ready. Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. The gifts of the goddess. I am ready to receive all of the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. The gifts of the goddess. I am ready to receive. Love, love, are you ready? I am ready. Joy, joy, are you ready? I am ready. Peace, peace, are you ready? I am ready. I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. The gifts of the goddess. I am ready to receive all of the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. The gifts of the goddess. I am ready to receive compassion. Are you ready? I am ready. Forgiveness. I am ready. I am ready. Laughter. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I am ready to receive passion. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Success. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Abundance.
Yeah.
I am ready.
I am ready.
I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace. The gifts of the goddess. I am ready to receive all of the gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace. The gifts of the goddess. I am ready to receive.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
I am ready.
All the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace.
I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive.
Thank you, Claudia, Julie, Lucy, and Zita. We have received so magnificently today, so far already. Good morning and happy Mother's Day. Yeah. Today, because it is Mother's Day, then I am going to speak a relevant Mother's Day message. And in my message, Mother Wove the Morning, the title, I'll tell you about where that came from in a moment. Today I'm going to talk to you about some words of Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founder, and also known as the Mother of Unity, in her words. I'm also going to share with you the journey of the soul to the sacred feminine, and some wonderful tributes that I received from reaching out and asking some of the blessings of motherhood and some of the lessons that were blessings from people's mothers. It was January 6th of 2020 when my mother passed away, made her transition. Being there with her was the hardest and yet the most sacred experience and most important work I could do. And we didn't have a Mother's Day church last year, as you know, because we were closed down due to COVID. So it's lovely to be together and honor motherhood and mothers and the divine feminine today. When my brothers and I were at the house going through her things and sorting and stuff, we found boxes, each of our names on it. It had all the cards, Mother's Day cards, all the birthday cards, all the Christmas cards that we either made and gave to her or, mailed to her. I even found some of my college letters that I wrote to her when I was away at college. So it was very heartwarming to know how much she really honored being a mother. And so, although we had our difficult times, I never doubted her love. And I don't think she doubted mine either. So the title, Mother Wove the Morning, comes from a play by Carolyn Pearson. Back in the 80s, when I was in my early to mid-20s, she wrote a play, a one-woman play, and performed it. And she was almost excommunicated from the Mormon Church for having written that play because it was questioning or it was addressing the harm that patriarchy has done through the centuries to women. And it also was a questioning of where's the face of the Divine Mother? All of our teachings are all masculine oriented, and so she was just searching for that. And so here's, in her words, what she said: "Much of my life has been devoted to the search for the divine feminine, a search that culminated in writing Mother Wove the Morning. a one-woman play in which I performed 16 women throughout history in the search of the female face of God. Now, I and many were touched and moved by her play. It was sold out. It was made into a video and so forth, which I still have the VHS. and anyway, it was a wonderful opening for me in my life, because I also had been in the Mormon faith, now called Latter-day Saint. And I was looking for something that I couldn't find and couldn't feel. I felt disconnected. So I started looking and for the nature of the divine in wider realms. I started to consider that God wasn't a bearded man in the sky with a voice like Charlton Heston. I came to explore this presence and power that we call God, oneness, all that is, by many names, and that it is a principle that includes both masculine, what we consider masculine and feminine qualities. And yet the feminine had been suppressed and in the shadow all that time. And so when things are suppressed in the shadow, they are going to come up so that we can be whole, so that we can include all our parts. So this is a day for us to celebrate mothers and motherhood, but even more importantly, those qualities that reside in all of us. The qualities that reside in all of us that are depicted in the Yin Yang Symbol, which is passive and active, thinking, feeling nature, the intuitive and the protective. So our masculine qualities are protective and thinking, and our feminine qualities are the intuitive, the healing qualities, and that love quality, and the masculine is wisdom. So they all are married together as part of the whole. Now, in my own search for understanding the nature of the divine, it took me in many explorations, or it just seemed like once I was open, that all of these wonderful teachings came before me. I participated in women's circles. I learned about Native American spirituality, Mayan spirituality. I did a vision quest for 10 days. I sang in a Middle Eastern belly dance band that played music and recorded an album called Return to the Goddess, which was really because the songwriter was Jewish. He brought Shekinah into that music, and Shekinah is that feminine principle depicted in. And so it also led me to my spiritual teacher, Anam, who was here maybe about 5 years ago on Mother's Day. And she spoke, as many of you might remember that. So what I've learned from all of this is that divine feminine and masculine are principles of the whole, just as the 4 directions, the 4 seasons are all part of the circle of life. The Hindu gods and goddesses are aspects of that one divine. And my perception of spirit evolved from seeing a God out there, a supernatural being, to what unity teaches. But that God is everywhere present, all power, all knowing, and God is love itself. The principles of love, life, wisdom, power, all of our 12 powers, and that is our first principle, and our second principle is that we are expressions of that. We are expressions of that love, of that goodness, of that life. Now, early teacher in unity H. Emily Cady, whom you might be familiar with, who wrote Lessons in Truth, she said this, quote, "God is not a being or a person having life, intelligence, love, power. God is perfect love and infinite power. God is the total of all of these, of all good, whether manifested or unexpressed." This was a pretty radical idea and still is to some today. In those early 2 centuries, the turn of the 18th to the 19th century was when Charles and Myrtle Fillmore and the New Thought movement started to grow in America, bringing these Eastern mystical teachings to the Western thought in an attempt to restore us to what was considered first century Christianity, based on Jesus' life and teachings of love and forgiveness and healing. So I mentioned that I met my spiritual teacher in those early days. I lived in Kalispell, Montana. For a time, it almost seems like we intersected for that reason. I lived there for a time, she lived there for a time, and we both moved other places. But I still study with Anam today. And in that early time and age of my life, I would sit there. It was kind of like Greek to me, listening to her talk about this oneness and this holy presence that, you know, and many of us introduced to unity, it's the first time we ever have thought that we are divine, that we are born in innocence and wholeness, because that's what we are as spirit. And so, as I was open to these teachings, I had an experience that it took me probably 10 years before I would talk about it and could understand it. And it was an exercise that I was doing with a group of other people in a workshop. And I was looking into my eyes in a mirror. And then all of a sudden my face faded away and I saw this brilliant beam of light, which I recognized as Christ. Then I saw another beam of light, which I recognized as myself. And they just merged together as one. That was my trajectory point of understanding and being able to, release all of those past teachings that kept me feeling unworthy, less than, and disconnected from the holy. Now, however you experience that, it's going to be individual to you. It doesn't matter how it comes to you. The important thing is that what matters is that we allow ourselves to let love, to let divine nature dissolve the egocentric self, and let that nature work in our everyday life and affairs. It's an ongoing spiritual practice, as you know, and I know, because we often fall short. But it doesn't change the truth, the absolute truth. And so what I learned is another greeting besides namaste, which means the light I am sees or greets the light that you are. That's the Hindu greeting. There's another greeting in Lakesh, in the Mayan, which is, I am another you. I am another you. I am the face of God, you are the face of God. And so, like Jesus, like Buddha, like the Fillmores, let us then dedicate our lives to living and expressing that wisdom and that oneness even though we live in a world of duality, but we know that we are one. And we let all else fall away until there isn't anything but love, and everything else dissolves. So I told you I would share some of the words of Mother Fillmore, and these are letters that she wrote back to people who wrote to her in the early days of unity, because these ideas and truths, this one presence, one power, and that you and I are divine, they were teaching these truth principles. And they wrote letters to Myrtle because she had been healed of tuberculosis, given a 6 month to live kind of sentence from her doctors, because she heard these truths. And so people, wanted to hear how did she do it, They went to Jesus and wanted to know how he did it too, right? So here's what Myrtle Fillmore said. You see, dear, we just feel rather modest. We really haven't much to say as to when the work was started and how it was done. We just received from the Father some ideas that proved wonderfully helpful in our own family. Then we shared them with others, and they too were helped. Since those of like faith are drawn together, we soon found ourselves in a little society which was formed for the study of truth and the practice of its ideas. Now, what Silent Unity Prayer Ministry is today was called the Society for Silent Help back then. And people in their homes, they did it all by mail. They had a prayer focus that they would pray on at a specific time every evening. And that was the beginning of the Silent Unity Prayer Ministry, which has been 24/7 for over 125 to 27 years. It's still going. Then Myrtle says, we grew. After a time, it seemed that other folks went their various ways, and only we were left to continue what we felt to be important enough to develop and to devote ourselves to Unity School, unfolded and continued to grow. We have never cared to interest folks in our own lives. It makes no difference to others what we have done or who we are. What is important is that we are doing what the Father has given us to do according to our best light. And if we have something that others want or that will help them, spiritual ideas and their radiance, we are glad to share it. If others wish to receive, all right. If not, because of what they may term our personal limitations, that's all right too. We are not trying to interest folks in the school, but in the ideas of the Christ mind, which we feel to be the foundation of the work and our standard for life. Now we can look at, this is why unity has never proselytized, okay? The focus has never been bring people to us or convert people or whatever. The focus is to live those truths and share those truths that liberate. But dear, she says, I feel you are, here's when they were calling her Mother of Unity. She said, but dear, I feel you are crowning me with an honor that belongs to the Holy Spirit, which is omnipresent and which expresses in the loving desires of the hearts of all of those who are endeavoring to manifest the mother side of God. You call me the Mother of Unity. Well now, I know nothing that would give me greater joy than to feel that God could work so perfectly through me as to bring forth a great ministry and a place of peace and goodwill and health such as this is. But in reality, I feel that I am only the soul who caught the first vision of this ministry and who nurtured that vision until others came along to help in the establishment of it in the minds and hearts of our dear ones, and to help in the molding and substance the outer forms of this work and its school. It is my great joy to perceive somewhat of the mother side of God, the divine love that never fails and that is equal to the drawing of souls to itself. It is my prayer to be able to radiate the qualities of this divine love to all. You too are the mother of unity because in your heart you have the same ideals and the same great generous spirit and the endless and tireless service and the love that never fails. The mother of unity is the universal mother. How happy we are to represent this mother. Unquote. So in closing, before we have a little meditation and pass out some Mother's Day flowers, I want to share with you a reading that comes from a woman named Andrea Menard. And Cheryl passed that along with me because another minister had shared that with her. And it came in to fit very well today, so thank you. Rise of the sacred feminine looks like. It looks like a rise in self-respect and self-esteem. It looks like a rise in heart-centered business and communication. It looks like a rise in acceptance of emotional expression. It looks like a decline in rigid gender roles. It looks like a decline in racist attitudes. It looks like women and children being silent no more. It looks like the empowerment of a feminine voice. It looks like the empowerment of the indigenous voice. It looks like the empowerment of the earth's voice. It looks like men being allowed to soften. It looks like men honoring their own vulnerability. It looks like a rise in self-accountability. It looks like a rise in non-binary human beings. It looks like a rise in respect for your fellow human beings. It looks like a rise in respect for all beings everywhere. It looks like a decline in hierarchical systems. It looks like a rise in diversity and inclusion. It looks like a rise in consciousness. It looks like a rise in love. So as Myrtle Fillmore said, you have the same ideals, the same generous spirit and endless and tireless service and love that never fails. The universal mother, the sacred feminine lives in you, no matter who you are. Mother wove the morning and gave birth to divine love. In Lakesh and Namaste. Thank you. Now we have some love for you today. Our ushers and we have some Mother's Day flowers here. Let this represent that sacred feminine within all. So all are invited to take one today. And Mark and whoever else is ushering, maybe somebody could take this side of the room and you all can choose a flower. And while you're doing that, oh dear, I'm sorry, I just must have brushed the microphone. While you're doing that, I wanted to share those Mother's Day thoughts and blessings that I received when I reached out to family and friends about what the blessings are of being a mother, or blessings are that you receive from your mother. In lieu of our beautiful video montage that we've had in the past with pictures of all our mothers, I thought we could do it something different and special today. So here's a few, and I had to edit them, so that it wasn't longer, but these are the words of various friends, and family. Sandy said, "The most rewarding thing I have learned from my mother is to be there for family, friends, and strangers. She's always been there for me, always with a big smile, a kiss, and a hug. I could not have asked for a better or kinder mother." Susan, "No matter what else I may accomplish in life, I will always feel that the greatest thing I have been a part of is creating the thoughtful, kind, accomplished, hardworking, hard-playing, funny, capable man my son is today. I feel incredible joy and pride." Glinda, "There is no one most rewarding thing. There is a day-to-day connection with other human beings for which you devote your life, hopes, desires, and dreams. You spend your time and money on them. Their happiness is your happiness. Their sadness is your sadness. You give up your own autonomy to become enmeshed in an eternal relationship." Jennifer, "The most rewarding thing for me is seeing them become competent, caring adults, and I am so proud and loving of everything they are and do." Our friend and fellow former licensed teacher at Unity, Lois Fellows, "My mom said, 'Be of good cheer and rise above it.' Our song was, 'If you're down a well, ring my bell. If you're up a tree, call on me.'" The friendship chorus. And we sung that song to each other on the phone before we hung up. Yeah. Sarah, "The most important thing for me as a mother has been to help my children blossom into their true selves and be emotionally healthy. As for my own mother, I learned a lot of what not to do." Robin, "So here's one thing. If you had a mom who couldn't be a mom due to physical or mental issues, the mothers in my life have taught me how to be a good mother to my kids." Rebecca, "Watching them grow into caring, contributing adults and trusting that I contributed in some small way. Letting go of forgiving the mistakes I made along the way because I am a good mom and I did the best I knew how to do in the moment." Lisa, "My mom was ahead of her time in that she worked outside the home before it was fashionable to do so. When I was about 7, she became the secretary to our rabbi. Then my dad got her involved in the furniture, rental, and leasing business. I think my drive to have multiple streams of income comes from her as well as my entrepreneurial bent." Maureen, "Being a mom helped me understand my mother better than I could ever otherwise." Andrea, "My mother was very wise. I was a wild one. She said to me, 'I don't know what you are doing when you're out there, but I ask one thing. Before you do something, ask yourself, could this affect me permanently? If so, postpone doing it until you have a chance to think about it.' I honestly think that advice saved my life many times." Shaddai, "The most rewarding thing about being a mother is loving another human being unconditionally and teaching and learning from your child. It's the most heart-opening relationship on this earth, mother and child." So what I see in common with all these shares is that those mother qualities contain being a teacher, advisor, nurturer, cheerleader, and friend. And these are the qualities of motherly love. If you reflect upon your life, you might be able to name your own mother or others who gave you this motherly love. You also might have been one to have given it. Because we all have these qualities within to nurture and to encourage and to love. So let's prepare for meditation now. And as you hold your flower, you can let that be your touchstone, if you will. So we relax, we close our eyes, and feel that motherly love, that unconditional love that is within. For we are one in the heart of the mother. We are one in the heart of love. We are one in the heart of the Father. We are one in God. And as we are connecting with this holy presence that goes beyond gender, and yet today we open ourselves to the touch of the Divine Mother. We embrace Kali, the Hindu goddess of time and change, who empowers us to banish the untruthful or error thinking. We embrace Shakti, Divine Mother, and creative power. We embrace Kuan Yin, the Buddhist goddess of compassion, who carries the burdens of the world for us. We embrace Mary, the mother of Jesus, also revered as the Queen of Heaven, the Mother of God. We embrace Changing Woman, or Spider Woman, of the Native American culture, who is the creatress who weaves us into being. We embrace Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Earth, who is our earthly home and provider of our earthly lives. Sustainer. We also embrace Shekinah, the Hebrew goddess, the holy dwelling place of God, representing the Holy Spirit. So just feel this motherly embrace enfolding you, heart, mind, and soul now. Knowing that I am with you always. Lay your burdens down and I will make them light. Open up your heart and let my love inside. For when you dwell in me and I in you, you are whole and complete. You are my beloved child. I love you. And as we go into the silence now, just reflect upon and appreciate those mothers, mother figures, and all of those in our lives who have guided us and nurtured us with motherly love. And if that relationship with mother was less than ideal, we give compassion to ourselves and our mothers for doing the best they knew how, as we do the best we know how. And we rest in the heart of the mother, knowing that all is well. And so it is. So take a deep breath. Relax, let go. Another deep breath. Bringing that peace with you, that love with you, as we prepare for our tithes and our offerings. And the music team will do another song for us. So we come together now in gratitude and share our tithes and our offerings. We give thanks for all we have received. We bless you. We bless all the gifts that have been received and given For we know the gift and the giver are one. So we say together our blessing over our giving, whether it be online, electronic, or in person. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Goddess, for the joy of giving and receiving.
It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, and you always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name, a beautiful smile to show the way. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. I owe so very much to you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. Yeah, yeah. I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Yeah. And everything I would like to be. I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings.
Wow, thank you guys so much. So I am going to go through our transformational opportunities. We will have our annual meeting on May 16th, and our board member elections are underway. And Valorie hit on the videos, which can be found on our website. So happy Mother's Day to you all. We are not going to do Zoom fellowship coffee today, and the gathering service will not be meeting tonight, but everything will resume again next week. On Saturday, May 15th, from 1 to 6, right here at Unity of Bon Air, the Alliance for Spiritual Understanding is going to be presenting a prosperity play shop. This is going to be an in-person event. It is not going to be on Zoom. It's going to be led by Richard Gordon, who has been a spiritual and metaphysical teacher since the 80s, and he has taught in hundreds of locations internationally. There's more information about it online. It looks really cool. The registration is $65, and there are flyers in our foyer and more information in the e-news. Next Sunday, we are pleased to have Reverend Alva Carter Kershaw as our speaker. Her title is going to be Healing Grief, a vision of love, loss, and reconciliation. We all experience multiple types of losses in our lives, and we can join Alva as she shares with us some spiritual tools and strategies to equip us moving forward. This Friday is going to be movie night, and Dan is going to tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so I tried to show this on Zoom this past year, but it never really worked out, trying to stream a movie on Zoom. But I am going to do a hybrid, so I will be showing it in Fellowship Hall, and I will try to stream it on Zoom as well, so the link should be up there by the end of the week. I've been a little remiss in getting this information to Cheryl. In honor of Mother's Day, Hildegard von Bingen was a German abbess back in, she was born in 1098, so she was a Renaissance woman back in the medieval times, so way ahead of her time. She was, she would be the mother of all the women in the Benedictine Abbey. so she had that mother connection. But she was also an herbalist, she was an artist, she was a musician, she wrote a lot of music, a lot of sacred music for the church. And she also consulted with, the popes would consult with her for her wisdom. So anyway, I'm going to show that film, streaming a show on Hildegard von Bingen next Friday at 7 p.m. And I'll have some fun shorts right before that.
Sounds great, Dan. Thanks. So, garden team. I think everyone knows that we have this beautiful meditation garden, and we are looking for volunteers on the team. They do an amazing thing, keeping everything beautiful. We are looking for someone with a blower to help clean up the pollen in the parking lot and on the promenade and in the gardens. We can all use some help with that. And help is needed to water the planters on the promenade. You can have any day of the week. There's watering cans and water's available in the kitchen. And if it rains, you get the day off. So something to look forward to when it rains, right? You can email ubagarden@gmail.com to find out how you can help, or you can see Joanne Einsman or any garden team member. Also, this is exciting. The plant sale is continuing today after the service. So for all of you here, be sure to stop by. We do have prayer chaplains available to pray with you. If we have any, can the folks here in the sanctuary stand? And if you are at home or any other time, you can call our office at 804-320-5584 and press option 6 and leave a message, and we will have a chaplain reach out to you directly. To stay in the know with everything else going on here, please get on our UBA e-news. It's great weekly e-news, which you can sign up for on the website. You can go to the events calendar, or if you're live streaming, check out the announcement loops before or after the service. So thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Brennan. Thank you, music team, Julie, Claudia, Lucy, and Zita. Yay. Thank you, Melody Neal and Dariana Neal, who were with our little ones today. We had Lena and Bridget here today. Again, and 2 weeks in a row, yay! We give thanks for and bless these offerings to go forth, do the will and the work and the mission of unity of Bon Air. So thank you, ushers. And we like to, yes, Veronica and Natalie back there for our live stream. Thank you. And Dan on sound. Our protocol volunteers at the front door. Today we had Debbie and Nancy, I believe. And thank you, Mark and Tom, for ushering. I believe our service has now ended. And our ministry of love continues. So let us say our prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.